I was in New York last year, and I had the opportunity of addressing a gathering of Afro-American new converts to Islam. As they were there in the hall, and as I went into the hall, I thought as if they were villagers from Pakistan. I could never dream that the Afro-Americans of the United States could dress like this and could behave like this. Their shapes were just like that. I inquired from the president. He said they are Afro-Americans, all of them converts, none imported from Pakistan. All of them belong to the United States. Wonderful. I delivered the lecture and then invited those people to me. I spoke to them, I said, why are you wearing this dress? They said, sir, this is the symbol of fighting. What? Who told you that? Sir, great Islamic workers have been coming here and they have been teaching us that in order to become very good Muslims in the eyes of God, we should wear a triangular pajama and a quadrangular kurta and a hexagonal cap. It took me a long time to convince them that they are committing a crime by wearing that dress in America. They said, why? I told them, my dear brothers, no dress has been prescribed in Islam by the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That is number one. He has only prescribed rules of decency about dress. Decency. Not the pattern of dress. None. Number one. Number two, if you wear this queer type of dress, you are going to be a walking propaganda against Islam among the Americans, because they will say that if anybody wants to be a Muslim, then that is the first thing he will have to do, and that of course they would not like to do, and therefore they will never. The solution to the problem, I might speak on this problem later, making it the topic of one full lecture. The problem is not unsolvable. If you go to the Quran and if you go to the Hadith, you will find that many things which we say that they are the compulsory, they are the obligatory parts of an Islamic life, they are not obligatory. Islam is a universal religion. Islam is a religion which has come for all ages. And students of sociology know that the cultural pattern changes with the change in the industrial pattern, in the pattern of production. The cultural pattern changes, and with the change in the cultural pattern, the psychological pattern changes. This always takes place. The Holy Prophet ﷺ was aware of all this. He did not give this type of religious outlook which we have developed. He is not responsible for it. It is we who are responsible. Islam, as I said, begins with the values. And in Islam, the moral life is the basis. Of course, the moral life is based on spiritual orientation of life. In order to acquire the purity of motives, but the moral life is the basis, as the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, أَكْمَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِيمَانًا أَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا. The measure of a person's iman is his moral integrity. the more highly moral a person is, the better iman he possesses. These two go together. It is the moral life which is the foundation of Islamic life. It is the Islamic life as such. And moral life, so far as moral life is concerned, the moral life prescribed by Islam can be followed and practiced fully in every society. Whether that society is South African or that society is in Germany or that society is in America or else. This is what goes to make a Muslim. The other external things, they vary, as you already know, from community to community. The dress, for instance, varies from Indonesia to Morocco and to Nigeria. Because the dress which those people wear is considered to be their national dress, therefore we do not raise objections. We raise objection, our ulama raise objection on the English suit because it was imported. It belongs to certain other communities. They are very much right in their connections because wearing or adopting even the dress of another community corrupts one's outlook and one's mentality, creates a sort of inferiority complex. But if this English dress has now been universally adopted by the upper strata of Muslim society from the east to the west and north to south, that problem no more remains. That problem was there only in the beginning. It is no more there now. So far as the problem of dress is concerned, or any other similar problems, so far as they are concerned, they have absolutely no importance in the Islamic scheme of life. What Islam emphasizes is the spiritual culture which it gives us. What Islam emphasizes is the moral culture which it gives us. And if we can follow the spiritual and moral teachings of Islam properly, we are going to become real good Muslims. Unfortunately, we have adopted certain standards. In Pakistan, for instance, I find different types of patterns of this religious fanatical Muslim who says that he is a Muslim, the others are not. I will say his own brothers are not. But among these people I find, and anybody can find, very peculiar types of patterns. Pattern number one: a Muslim merchant grows a long beard, wears a long kurta and a triangular pajama, wears a round cap, the Haji's cap, you see, gets it from Mecca straight. Does it? Shows himself to be a person who is dedicated to Islam, dedicated to God, right? Then make a survey of the market and Muslim business all over Pakistan. What has happened? What has happened? You may go there and try to find pure butter in Karachi. Pure butter in Karachi. Karachi is a Muslim town, mind you. What you will find there? Zamzam brand butter, Medina brand butter, Mecca brand butter, Muhammadi brand butter, Sufi brand butter, Mullah brand butter, and all sorts of butter. But you cannot find butter there. These people who grow all this paraphernalia of piety, and they deal with these articles, and they are the people who sit in those shops and who have their dairy farms and dairies and factories and all that. They earn money in this manner. In Pakistan, cases have happened so many times. Once a big Haji was caught red-handed, who had installed a factory in his cell, underground cell, where he used to make butter from grease. And that butter inflicted polio on about 40 children, and after that he was caught. This is Islam. This is Islam of the religious people of today. Which Islam do we adjust? Let us tell. Which Islam do we adjusted in a particular environment? And these people earn this money. Mind you, then they go to Mecca 4 times a year. In my country, there is an embargo on going to Mecca, except on buying the bonus voucher, that is buying the pound not at the official rate, but at 2.5 times their official rate. It's called the bonus voucher rate. He who has fleeced the people like this and has earned all this haram money, he has plenty of black money in his pockets to go and buy 4 times a year the bonus voucher and go to Mecca. And he comes back and is garlanded by all his friends and by all the people and praised highly. So and so is a big Haji. He has performed the Hajj 7 times and 17 times and 70 times in his life. Mr. Chairman, the sores on the body of the Muslim community are seen. It seems as if we have lost completely our grip on what Islam stands for. We have coined our own Islam. We have taken certain portions of Islam. Of course they are portions of Islam. Prayers 5 times a day, that is the portion of Islam, that is obligation. Fasting during the month of Ramadan, that is a portion of Islam, that is obligation. Or zakat or hajj. We have taken certain portions of Islam and given them a certain pattern of unity or of organic unity, combined them into a sort of organic whole. And this is the Islam which we carry. The problem of the adjustment of this Islam with any environment does not arise. It can adjust itself in a communist country, it can adjust itself in a capitalist country. It is adjusting itself under Jamal Abdul Nasir, it is adjusting itself in Turkey, it is adjusting itself in Pakistan. Why can't it adjust itself here? Why all this hue and cry about? But if that original Islam of the Quran and the Sunnah is concerned, where we have been told, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You are the best ideological group which has been raised and chosen and built up by God for the purpose that you will establish all that is good and eradicate all that is evil. As soldiers of God, وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. If that thing is taken into consideration, then of course the problems will arise as to how to proceed. But if that idealism is not there, if Islam is not a way of life, if Islam is not a challenge for all evil, and Islam is only a cult, Islam is only a cult, then, pardon me, sir, Mr. Chairman, this problem does not arise. And we treat Islam as a cult. Do you know what a cult is? A cult means a combination of certain religious rituals, which have an otherworldly orientation combined with a few ethical principles. That is a cult. And we treat Islam as a cult, we accept Islam as a cult, we do not go beyond the requirements of that cult. Mr. Chairman, I think I have taken too much of the time, and I have taxed the patience of the audience too much. This is a problem which I would like to emphasize. It requires a scientific analysis, because if this problem is understood fully, if it is understood fully as to what is the pattern of life which Islam gives, what are those things which Islam has made obligatory, and what are those things which are optional in Islam, if we can have an analysis in that manner, and if our ideal is to establish those ideals for which Islam came, then this work can be done methodically on the basis of a scientific analysis, taking value after value, what is more important and what is less important, what is obligatory and what is not obligatory, as I said just now. I think if we do that, we will get an Islam which will be extremely dynamic, extremely progressive, extremely enlightened, and I don't think that with that Islam again, if we get the full Islam, there will be any difficulty in the way even of the South African minority Muslim community to live here as good Muslims. Probably then we will be able to live here as good Muslims in a manner that the non-Muslims will themselves be attracted, and they will come to us to join our community, and a day might come when the entire South Africa may be Muslim.